Leading profound change. Change in your business, change in your life plan. Change is commensurate with 4 A's. I came up with these 4 A's over 25 years, talking to over 2,000 one-on-one leaders in coaching conditions, helping them create some really interesting outcomes in companies and lives. Now, these 4 A's, as I teach them to you, I want you to bend the beam back to yourself as I talk you through them, and think about situations where you probably did this naturally. This is what you do in the way that you think. But I'm going to illuminate it more so that it becomes a useful tool. Now, I said the word think, and I really meant it. I meant to say think the way you think. Because thinking is the process of composing thought. And thinking is the process of looking at reality, meeting life, meeting the moment, and then occupying a response, occupying a decision, occupying a way into that moment to relate with life, to dance with change. So change is change. Change is something that you can lead and create by plans. You can do planned change, which is to set out for a goal or a vision and create it. Or adaptive change, which is change coming in from the outside to the inside, where life is coming at you, towards you, life presents itself as you walk, and then you listen and take in the stimulus that life brings in the door. That's what I'm talking about today, is how to best manage that process, but make that process generative, not reactive. And so it's about dancing with the emergence of life. Life is in the business of creating life. What does that mean? That means that as you go along in your living, you're not just existing, but that you're participating in an unfoldment like yarn, where there's a thread that kind of goes along, and as you ride the wave like a surfer, you participate with the intention of wanting the ride and improving your ride. And you learn the ride as you go. But you're exposed to the natural order of the wave. So there's a certain creative order of the wave, and there's a way in which you interact with the interplay of the wave and what it needs and what it wants and what you are wanting. So all at once, we're attending to the wave and we're intending the ride. And I call the combination of these two the enlightened doer, where one eye on the road is taking it in and one eye on the road is putting it out, putting it forth. And it's how we combine these two in the moment that accesses a quality of our being, a quality of our animation and activation of life itself, to show up and to be here. And so this is also the process of enfoldment. And enfoldment is how the emerging reality of the wave is informing the rider to make the changes as he rides his track. So we must look at learning. Learning is a creative process because it's following nature's pattern. But part of that nature is your own nature. It's your nature of your focus, but it's also nature itself bound to the unfoldment of you in the system, and the system of the wave is part of the pattern of which you are seeing things and sensing things and enacting. And so in a way, the rider must act unconditionally, unconditional to the witnessing of the wave, and not think too much. Not think too much, but organically move with the wave and participate with surrender, and at the same time, unconditionally understanding the wave, and also unconditionally enacting that every movement on the wave will enact new and more feedback, new and more exposure to the distancing. And when the wave closes, when the wave opens and all that, the rider must engage with the possibility. So we start with the first day, and the first day is to accept. Is when you meet the situation at hand, you're bound to a question. Can I stay with what's happening? Can I stay with what's happening? Stay. Stay means, can I stay present to the originality of the experience? Can I stay true here? Can I stay tuned into the situation? This is an important question because the situations come in all sizes. The temperature may be hot or cold. The situation may be difficult. It may be negative, it may be positive. In whatever form it comes in, the question is, can I stay connected to what is going on? That's an incredible question because it asks, am I going to tense against this and push? Am I going to hide? Am I going to aggress and go into my reactive state? Because what takes us away from that are the preconceptions that we hold, our expectations, our concepts, our generalizations, our worldviews, our fears, our beliefs. All the cognitive structures that we have are the conditioned thoughts that dominate our attention. And if our nature of our focus is that thought, which is living in our history, then we're bound to see our history instead of see reality as it is. And the only way to change your history is through reflection. And reflection is the process of coming back to staying here. Coming back from the control that you might feel you need to have for the future, the control of the response that I'm afraid of what's coming around the corner, therefore I must control it. If then, therefore. If it's coming this way, then therefore I must do it that way. But again, that's the origin of that movement is from thought. So I'm not here. I'm not accepting reality as it is. I'm disqualifying reality. I'm editing reality through the automatic mind stuff. So I must be able to regulate that. And so the regulator of that is the second A, which is awareness. And the question in awareness is, what is worthy of my attention right now? What is worthy of my attention right now? That what I'm explaining to myself about what's going on may not be true. Do I believe what I believe? What if I didn't believe it? Who would I be if I didn't believe it? What if I didn't assume that person's intentions? What if I didn't assume that what I was seeing was correct or right? What if I let go of my certainty? It's been said that the future will punish certainty. It will reward curiosity. Because integrity is the length at which I can stay with or hold ambiguity until I find clarity. We develop a muscle for this. We keep our eyes open. But if we walk with our eyes closed, it's because we're asleep to the mental models and constructs that deceive us. And this self-deception is what we talk about when we say the box. Get out of the box. Classic, right? But really, it's so usable because we are in it. And we don't even know we're in it. It's not that we have a box. It's that we don't know we have one. And that's the issue, is we don't see what we see. So navigating profound change starts with attention. And then, in that attention, it's the first A. It's acceptance. Can I accept what's happening? We must let go of our preoccupations with the past. Because the past is where we see the problem and then we react to it. The past is where we have learned something automatically, and then we learn to react to that automatic thing. We act in a way to remove the unwanted circumstances. Well, this isn't generative. Or we have a belief or concept about ourselves. I'm not worthy. I don't have the power to create what I want. And we're locked into the imprisonment of those beliefs. So I go with the flow of life. I don't try to change anything. I give up desire, which is really a desire to not desire. And so, what if I'm concept free? What if I just leave out my belief about myself? What if what I think of myself does not have anything to do with creating what matters to me? But it's just a belief of myself. It's not whether it's a good or bad belief, it's a belief. So you can either live in the conjecture of the belief and stay out of contact with reality, or accept reality as it is without the belief being present. And that's where awareness comes in, and that's what slowing down your brain does, is that when you are mindful, you are tracking what is thought with the awareness that you have by asking yourself, what do I see right now? What do I feel right now? What am I doing right now? These are moments of awareness. I am the observer, and I'm unconditionally accepting what is here. And if I act, I unconditionally act without all the information of guaranteeing it'll all work, but by enacting upon an intention or something that I'm moving into, that I want to change, a goal, I can then reveal to me what is true, what is here. The truth is to trust. Because the truth, as it is, if we see it accurately, the accurate thinking delivers to us the intelligence that we need to activate our wisdom, to activate the resourcefulness that we have, to be response-able. Which brings me to the third A, which is attending. And the question is, from which place inside you are you attending? It's been said that the interior condition of you is the most important thing. The quality of any intervention depends on the interior condition of the intervener. So from where are you attending? If you're in first person, you're attending from yourself. You're paying attention to what you think only. You're paying attention to whatever you're making sense of is the projection on the wall like a slide projector, and you're just simply confirming what that is, reconfirming what that is. So what I see is what I get. I don't see the world I describe. I describe the world as I tell myself the story about my description. So I don't see the description. I see the story. That's when we're in our automatic mind stuff. That's when I'm attending from thought, my conditioned mind. But what's not that? Well, what's not that would be to see directly, which would suggest that awareness would regulate the mechanism of thought, and therefore I can come into contact with a more accurate way of seeing reality to position my next response, to position where I move from and where I move toward. So that process of attending is, am I attending from my heart? You've attended from your heart when you've put yourself in someone else's shoes. You've seen their experience. You see where they are. You don't have to agree with it necessarily, but you can accept and connect with their experience. You'll never quite know their experience directly because it's their experience. But the empathic listener knows in their hearts how to feel where the other person is. And that feeling provides you that collective social intelligence, like a social field of interconnectedness, where you empathically are appearing in a greater, larger, expanding heart that is changed, moved, inspired, amazed, astonished, all that. That you become doable, you become activatable by that which you encounter. And that openness and vulnerability is very spooky, but it is a great source of intelligence. It's your EQ. Your intellect is your IQ, what you take in through your seeing. But when you're sensing in your perceptions, the place from which you're attending is from that heart, and you can ask yourself, from which place am I attending? Put your hand over your heart. What am I understanding? if I radically accept what is, then I must gradually understand what is here without closing my heart. If I close it, I'm defended. If I close it, I'm shameful. If I close it, I'm in hate mode. I am not in the open heart. The nature of my focus when my heart is open is generosity, kindness, compassion. And this equanimity is the ability to hold those emotional states, but know that I'm separate from them. I am not my emotions. I'm not identified with my emotions. Therefore, I can have a relationship with those. I am not what other people think. Therefore, I can accept that they have different thoughts and perceptions than I do without needing to change them. We all, when we grew up, had a sense of what other people needed from us to be desired. We wanted to belong. But certain times in our lives, we were rejected or people shunned us at our very best. And that brought us to shrink. We were shrinking back into a small sense of self in an attempt to be a larger self in other people's eyes. Because innocently we were seeking love. And we didn't want to be shunned. We wanted to be whole. We wanted to feel that other people were inclusive, that they were including us. So we form all sorts of strategies in an attempt to seek this sort of acceptance. It's egotistically based, but it's not ecosystem awareness. It's not the house, it's ego. One, I need to impress. I am what I do. I am what you think. I am that. But really all you are is just amness. You're just that. There is no real thought of self. It's just awareness of what is here. And it's moving. And it's impermanent. So this attending is attending from a place of nowhere. It's attending from a place of I don't know. It's attending from a place of compassion, which is I can experience the suffering of others. I can experience that generosity of heart. I can be changed by them. And this fourth A is the attention. So acceptance, awareness, attending, and then attention is where do I choose to put my attention? Now maybe you choose to put your attention into your intentions. What matters to me? Where is your attention? Your attention is your property. What's got your attention? Hopefully not the digital dopamine that we all carry around. What's got your attention? Where do you choose to put your attention? This is an important thing. You may have a broad external attention. You may have a broad internal intention. Maybe that is you focusing on the thoughts, the internal, your mind, or you have an external, and maybe it's narrow. You got to get something done, remember a detail, mental follow-through, or execute at a high level. Focus, be resolute. But you have the flexibility of placing your attention at will under your control. And it's about taking back that control. So what has my attention right now? And what is my intention that I choose to create? And from which place am I attending? And what am I aware of right now? What do I see, feel, and hear, and do? So that you are a human being that has come into the fullness of comprehension. That you see from the head, the heart, and the hand. The IQ, the EQ, and the spiritual. The spiritual is the ontological. It is the way of being, the ground of being that you have in your body. To say, I will put space around this. I may not know exactly what it is, but I'm interested in seeing the patterns here. Between me and other. Between me and the whole. I'm enabling the whole through me by activating something that's wanting to emerge. And I'm stepping into that potential. I'm declaring the possibility of that. We encounter emergence everywhere. We're constantly knocked by situations that may have meaning and heart, that have some sense of connection to who we are and what we want to do, and we can crystallize intent just off those moments. Current reality can be a deep friend, an incredible companion, where our attention can be very generative in giving us what has meaning and heart, and helps us understand better who we are and what our sense of purpose is, and what we can serve. So what is it that you're attending to right now? From where are you attending? And what are you aware of right now? Are you aware that you are aware? And can you accept the reality of this moment? Can you show up? Can you soften your edge? Something to think about. So carry these 4 A's with you as a traveling companion when you encounter the change processes that you do. And go through the A's yourself or as a group. and to help yourself position the best quality of attention you can, the best place from which the quality of your leadership is attending from your heart, offering soul service to individuals and service to them, wanting what you want out of the groundings of your intentions, that you have high hopes for others. You can be a maker of peace. You could be a hope dealer, even a global teacher. And the attention that you bring, the focus of your attention, can truly be remarkable in its influence on others, in giving attention to others and having them feel seen and valued. So take seriously these 4 A's in leading profound change. If you'd like more information, go to highlevelperformance.com. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you today. Thank you.